All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on this beautiful planet. Welcome to the Inner Circle Live Pre-New York session. I'm your host for this morning's session, Benny Allen, along with my awesome partner, Mr. Ryan Carthage. And we're definitely happy and grateful for each and every one of you being here with us this morning as we take a look at the technicals and the fundamentals to see what we can take advantage of in the Forex market. So, without further ado, let's make sure that we turn off any and all distractions, grab a pen and paper, take lots of notes, and let's make sure that we participate and engage. Quick sound check if everybody can hear me loud and clear this morning. Do me a huge favor, drop me a one in the chat. Let me know that I'm all good with the sound and we can get going. Good, 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 good. All right, so I have my little issue corrected. All right, appreciate that. So let's make sure that we start out with a strong foundation, right? The Forex Trade Room credo, making sure that we are taking massive action each and every day, not just in the Forex market, but also in life. Let's make sure that we are accepting all possible losses before entering a trade, preparing us for any outcome. Let's make sure that we center ourselves in body, mind, and spirit, ensuring a balanced approach to trading, and that we trust in our education, strategy, trading skills, and intuition. Let's also imagine our trade successfully materializing. Let's be sure to obey our trading strategies, avoiding decisions based on greed and fear at all times. And let's make sure that we are never, ever looking back or stopping once our trades have commenced. All right. So let's dive into the fundamentals. So I know yesterday we had posted hey, we've got NVIDIA earnings coming up. We know they are a major player, the company that everybody's keeping an eye on. So we can see here, Investopedia article, and we'll make sure we get some things posted this morning as well. NVIDIA earnings top expectation as AI demand drives record revenue, right? So they continue to either meet or exceed expectations, and the expectations are quite lofty. So, you know, of course, we'll see what happens once the market opens this morning. All this house with NVIDIA, right? The expectations are so high, they'll meet or exceed expectations, and you don't see a ton of movement. And then also, it's just like when we get the readouts from central banks in regards to uh, where they are with their decision making, as far as like, for example, when they talk about whether or not they're raising or cutting interest rates, and then it comes down after that to the forward guidance. A lot of times it's the same way with companies, right? It's hey, these are the results, but what is the forward guidance? And with some of these companies, because of just globally everything that's going on and what's going on here in the United States with the administration policies, there's always concern about, growth down the road, whether or not, especially right now, in regards to future spending and things like that. So, um, good report again from in NVIDIA. You see AI drives record revenue, but then moving forward, there's some back and forth considering the economic climate. So that went well. Wanted to take a look at this morning the DXY. We can see the dollar rose to around 106.6 on Thursday, extending gains from the previous session as President Donald Trump's latest tariff announcement sparked caution in the markets, right? Again, the back and forth, right? On Wednesday, Trump indicated plans for 25% reciprocal tariffs on European autos and other goods, while stating that tariffs on Mexico and Canada would take effect on April 2nd instead of the previously set March 4th deadline. You guys see how this just keeps going on and on and on, right? Continue to move the goalposts. While markets have largely absorbed his mixed messaging, some traders caution that the risk associated with deepening tariffs may still be underpriced. Meanwhile, investors are awaiting key economic data, including the second estimate of Q4 GDP growth on Thursday and the PCE price index report on Friday. The latest economic releases have shown signs of weakness, leading markets to price in two quarter point rate cuts from the Federal Reserve this year, right? So looking at two cuts, remember coming out of 2024, a lot of people were thinking four is down to two, right? Some people were thinking one, but I guess we've worked our way back up to two possible rate cuts this year. So we'll continue to follow that story. European economic sentiment at a 5-month high. That's good. That's good there. Swiss GDP growth slows as expected, right? So slowing in GDP, one of the key fundamentals that we really keep track of when we talk about the health of a nation's economy, right? So we're seeing some slowing there. Producer inflation slows in France. Spain inflation rate hits 8-month high. Right, so that's mixed there, coming out of that Eurozone. Yeah, that's that. We click over, take a look at gold. Gold dipped below 2,900 now. On Thursday, extending this pullback from Monday's record high to 2,950, pressured by a stronger US dollar. On Wednesday, President Trump added to confusion outlook. So pretty much the same thing there. So gold continues to make a correction to the downside after hitting the all-time high of 2,950. Clicking over. Oh, I thought I had it up. To the Forex factory. 8:30. We've got that GDP Q over Q for the United States, and then unemployment claims. We've got durable good orders. So we got some good data coming out today. We got some FOMC members speaking. That'll be interesting to see what they think. Got a ton of them speaking today. And then we got Tokyo Core or CPI, right? So decent data coming out that can cause some volatility today. Never know what the Fed members are going to say. We just read that the markets are pricing in 2 quarter point cuts. So let's see if the rhetoric kind of aligns with what the market is thinking from the FOMC members today. My bad. Make sure everybody has control over their microphone. All right. Any questions regarding any of the fundamentals so far?
No,
No? All right. Anything else out there that you guys
No,
are playing? Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, Ben, I was just saying no. That's all.
Okay. All right. All right. Appreciate you. Thank you. All right. Anything else fundamentally that you all may be keeping an eye on, right? That we didn't cover? Any new news out there? No? All right. All right. All right. Again, you've been doing a good job of posting things in the community. If you come across something, let us all know. So make sure we get it posted. So taking a look at the DXY, right? So we look at this weekly chart. And so we know the dollar have been declining. We saw some gains here as of late. We're at a key level, right? Past resistance, right? Becoming a future support. Um, and so are we finding the floor here? Okay, it continues to bounce back and forth. All the tariff talks, right? So maybe is this the level where we see some more uptick in the dollar? We can see that we've got a low. That's in, right? And we see where our stochastic is at. So, do we get back to 106.88? Do we reject from there, or do we continue long? But you can see here as we move down through the chart, so we're starting to find a bit of a floor, and we're starting to pick up a little bit on the dollar, right? So this is where we are. This is what we're looking like. So we'll see if we can get back above that 106.88 level, and we'll go from there. See if we can get it to start trending. All right, so got a break there, but we're range bound, right? A bit range bound. We're moving, you know, somewhat in that range. All right, so we'll see. We definitely would like to see it get back above that 106.88 level, which you see right there. We're putting that low, and we got the bounce before. So let's see if the dollar can break out. Let's see if the dollar can break out. Let's see if it's time. So speaking of the dollar with the recent gains, we'll take a look, right? We'll go and we'll move in and look at where we are from the daily on this Aussie dollar. And we can see here that we do have a swing high, right, that formed there. Okay. And so if that dollar continues to strengthen, we'll see that move lower. All right. That's some new levels that we need to add in. Like so. There, so we're pushing lower. So when we come down to the 4 on this Aussie dollar setup, you see how we push high in the zone, right? We retrace 86%, right, of that 0 to 100% move, and we're moving down. So we want to see, keep an eye, right? So if we got an A6 pullback, we expect a 118 extension. And so we're back below that 63.31. Can we continue? So we want to look for pullbacks and continuations. This 4-hour stochastic is back in the buy zone, but makes sense, right? Because we've got that's a pretty healthy move down, right? Over 100 pips. And so we can watch it here on this 1 hour where we've already gotten a 50% pullback there into the sell zone. So we'll see how far it wants to pull back. Maybe we come back, we double top there, not sure. But we're moving to the downside. So this pullback has already occurred. We have see if we can get down. Say something like our 15. We'll put this level in like that. See if we can get a pullback or something. Nope, that's already gone too. So we need price to correct a bit. You know, if we were looking to sell, we needed to pull back, but it may do it, it may not. But just know that that Aussie dollar is moving to the downside. Any questions on the Aussie dollar?
Nope.
All right. And with this dollar, you know, the main thing that I'm leaning on, even though we've seen a correction as of late, is that, you know, we've got other countries that have started to, you know, cut rates. The U.S. has as of late has held rates. We read earlier that hey, they're thinking, you know, at least 2 quarter point rate cuts this year. When they'll do that, not sure, but you know, the rhetoric has been out of the FOMC, out of the central bank, the Fed, that they're not in a rush to cut rates. So that's what I'm leaning on with the dollar. You know, even though there's a lot going on in regards to, you know, the tariffs and everything like that, I'm still holding that one card in my back pocket, right? For dollar strength. Here's the Euro USD, right? Just can't make his mind up. Everything that's going on. So it's still just ranging. Still just ranging. So that play is still intact. We haven't taken out the A. And so if that dollar, you know, continues to move to the upside, we'll see that Euro USD move down. But I'm strictly watching that from the daily and the 4 hour. And you can see how it's just ranging right now. Right. So we'll watch that PCE data, watch the unemployment numbers coming through for the United States, listen to what the Fed has to say. You know, there's a lot of members speaking, but none of them were it's not Powell. It's just some of the other FOMC members. So, but there's a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll see. We'll see if they all fall in line with their opinions or if there's a difference in opinion that could cause the market to react. But that's where we are on the euro dollar. Moving down to the pound dollar. Still kind of just hovering, right? We've reached that 8.6 level, retracement level on the daily. Right. And so just continuing to adjust the trend lines as it moves up. So we'll see if that breaks down here on the 4 hour, that recent move, right? So we had the 80-20 swing. Okay. We had the 80-20 swing that showed up on the 4, took out our A here. took out our A, and we flipped the fids, right? We're moving up. Here we are at this 127.12. We're right in our 80-20 zone. So we'll see, if we continue to see strength out of the dollar, and if this causes the market to break down as it relates to this pound dollar pair, like so, like that. All right, so we kind of start to shift and move a little bit sideways. So we'll see if it breaks down. But we got a slight reaction off that 127.12 level. We'll see if it wants to move higher to retest it, or if we're going to start to make that move down. So that's a potential 80-20 that could lead to a larger move to the downside, depending on which way the dollar reacts, right? So that's where we are. So that's a potential 80-20. We'll see what happens, right? That pound's been moving pretty good to the upside. All right. Any questions on the pound dollar?
Nope, holding.
All right. Holding it. Cool. Let's see what happens with it. See what happens. Take notes, right? All right. And good work on that. Really good work. So let's see what it wants to do. See what it wants to do. Jeremy, been doing a good job with the patience, man. Good job with the patience, letting things play out, not being in a rush, right? Drop you some sevens in the chat for that. Patience is the key, right? Be patient, take notes, see what happens, right? See if things go your way technically. Make sure you detail the fundamentals around your setup as you continue to hold, right? Because that's what's going to tell you the story, right? So start to compile good notes, because things are oftentimes are reciprocal. If they happen, you'll see them again. You'll see it again, right? It may not happen in the same way, but you start to build that memory. Like, you know what? I remember back in 2025, what happened during this time and what caused this market to shift, right? Because it's moving pretty good. So we'll see what happens there with the pound dollar, right? And the story around the tariffs. Okay. NZD USD. So you can see here that this one pushed right to our 50% zone, and you see it collapsing now, right? So depending on the strength of the counter currency, right, depends on how how that pair reacts against the dollar. So we see, uh, slight movement, a lot of back and forth as it relates to the pound dollar and the euro dollar, but you can see that you're getting a decent move back to the downside, right, on this New Zealand versus the US dollar, right? So, you see the 80-20 swing that occurred, pushed a little higher, right? We were eyeing that monthly level, right? 57.69. Hey, we got a reaction back to the downside. Stochastic is in the sell zone, right? You can see it lining up there, and this one is moving back down pretty good, right? We can see here on the 4-hour 80-20 swing now is corrected, right? So you got a similar move. So again, let's continue to watch the dollar. All right, continue to watch the dollar and to see if we get pullbacks and continuations. Right, so it's kind of in that you've got two currencies, same region, similar Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar, and you've got a similar reaction. Just like when you look at the euro dollar and the pound dollar, you've got a similar reaction where it's kind of ranging, moving back and forth, whereas these are starting to trend to the downside when you look at the New Zealand dollar versus the US dollar and the Aussie dollar versus the US dollar, right? So you just see the patterns, right? When you frame the market out the same way every time, you start to see patterns, right? And so you can see that this is moving down, right? Look at that rejection off those monthly levels. That's why we mark them up and we bring them down to the lower time frame, right? So we can, it's almost like it's kind of like the Ichimoku cloud, right? At a glance, right? When you talk about the Ichimoku, so the reason why we bring those higher time frame levels down is because if you trade a 1 hour chart, just at one glance at the 1 hour chart, you can see where the higher time frame levels were, right? So that's why we do it. Okay. And we see we got the reaction. We've got a 786 retracement. And now it's pushing to the downside. So we want to look for continued strength in the dollar. Do we get it? Right? Do we get it? Why are we getting it? Why would we get it? Right? Once it occurs, if we continue to see strength in the US dollar. And we look for pullbacks and continuations to get into these setups. All right. So Aussie dollar, US dollar moving to the downside, pound dollar, euro dollar not moving quite as much. Moving into the dollar CAD, right? So we're getting that bounce. Right, so this is the higher time frame there. Nice, right? How we came into the lows here, which I need to add those in officially. Right, like that. And that. And you can see, right? Stochastic put in the low, and now we're moving to the upside, and we've been playing this 80-20, right? So we use that wide stop when we're swing trading. I don't mind the drawdown as much because I already know what I'm risking, right? I'm not risking so much that if I see a drawdown, I tie my account up. I'm not gambling, right? Well, I'm putting the house on the position. So, whereas a lot of times you hear like, you want to minimize the major drawdown and stuff like that. But hey, I don't control the market, right? So if I leave my stop wide, my risk and everything is already calculated. I know that if I'm risking 1%, I'm not tying my account up. So while this is in drawdown, I'm not tying it up. I'm just going to let it play out. And so we can see, right? So if you entered at that 80-20 zone, right? If you just trade the zone, right? You didn't wait for any other confirmation or anything like that. You just traded the zone. Then yeah, you got caught in drawdown. But we didn't hit that extension. And now you can see it starting to recover a bit, right? You're seeing it starting to recover a bit, move to the upside, right? So we had the conversation that once it broke below that 142.60, we were saying, hey, we may not want to take that trade if you hadn't been involved in it already, because it was getting so close to extension. We may not want to take that trade unless we break back above that 142.60. And we got price to break back above 142.60. So that's where we are there. Look at bigger picture, right? Larger move, right? Moving to the upside. In this play here, right? You've got I didn't mark it up on the 4, but I'll do it now. All right, so you got a similar thing playing off the high. So whether you're 1 hour, 4 hour, if you put that down fib, right, you would spot it. And you can see that it's trying to make its way higher, right? So at this point, you know, if you're not involved in it, then you look for pullbacks and continuations, right? Is it possible for us to uh, drop down to the lower time frame and find a way to get involved, right? To catch a wave, right? So that's that TP1 target that we're tracking. So we just drop down to 15-minute, 30-minute, 5-minute, whatever you trade, and look to see if we can catch a wave, right? And move higher. So we don't have anything down to 15 right now, unless we get a pullback. Right? If you trade the 15-minute chart, if this is not your chart, you shouldn't trade on this chart, right? You wait for this to occur on whatever chart that you trade. So if we can get a pullback to the buy zone, then we can look to get long. Okay. Any questions on that dollar CAD? Yep. Okay. All right. So appreciate it. Let me see. Oh, dollar Swissy. Man, we're starting to now. This is the daily time frame. Now we're sitting right on the 61.8 there. We're way oversold on the stochastic. So if I know the dollar's been a bit tricky, but if this is right, the major low, the dollar's gonna start to recover from here. Hey, we've got a 61.8 here on the daily on this latest fib. Stochastic is way oversold and it's starting to move, right? And if you look at it here on the 4 hour, right, we almost came, right? So as long as it doesn't take out the A, has no choice but to go your way, right? So we almost retraced, pretty much did almost retraced 100%, but we didn't, and we're looking to recover it. So initially, right off this entry here, see your 61.8, see your 786. Right? So yeah, you're going to draw down on those two pairs, but look how the market is recovering. So being that we've made a lower move, right, into the zone, then we look to come in about right there. We'll put it at the 8.6 because we quite didn't get back to that A boundary, right? So we'll put it at a 1.18 extension. And this will be interesting, right? As tricky as the dollar has been, let's see, right, if it can continue to make gains. Right? But just know this is real intriguing from the higher time frame. 94.87 would be the extension on that. We broke it back above that daily level. We're moving higher today, right? So that'll be a retest of that daily level there, and it'll officially be a swing low at the close of the day, and that's almost 500 pips to that daily extension. Right? So that's interesting, right? Especially considering Swiss GDP uh, growth slows as expected, right? So you got some slow growth going on there. So that may be um, a big setup to trade, over the long term on that dollar Swissy. This dollar yen, went to the wrong one. This dollar yen, haven't been playing around with it much, any of the yen crosses, so just want to take a look at it. We know it's been downtrending, but we're right back to this level. Seems to be, it seems to be this 149, 150. Doesn't want to stay below that. So the question is now, again, based on dollar strength, do we start to make a run higher, right? I wanted to see it go to 160. I still think it has the potential to do that. Is this the level that we hold, right? If we close out today higher, we'll have another swing low right there. We actually already have one. Let me see how that's playing out there. Yep. It's held up because it went back above it. So based on that previous low and the fact that it's gotten back above there, this is already confirmed. So, do we hold here for a double bottom? That's on the daily. Things are getting interesting, right? I know we're not deep in the zone at the daily, right? On the daily right now, but you know, it's one of those caveats where we're at a 382 with a price action pattern, right? A potential double bottom in that zone. You know, so do we start to recover from here, right? Maybe the market doesn't want to go back below 150 on that on this dollar yen. We having a chat. Holding it. All right. Yeah, like hey, let it go. Let's see. I mean, I mean, we know we're talking about further rate hikes with Japan, but until we see it, let's see what happens, right? Here we are in the zone, right? So we know that we've been downtrending. So this is what I'm gonna do though. in case we get this reversal. All right. And this setup is still iffy as to me in regards to which way to go. Technically, we got a decent price action pattern here with this double bottom. But it's hard to know with the way the dollar's been so back and forth, and with Japan, with their rhetoric, hey, we're looking to raise rates contingent upon 9 million other things. Sometimes it's kind of hard to gauge. So what I will do though is, being that we've double bottomed at this level, I will play it. I will draw it up for a move to the upside. And I'm just going to put it to the outside of that consolidation. So, and we'll see if we start to get price to break out higher. I already know that it's been downtrending. Let's see. I can always come back to that. That's easy to see that we've been making lower lows and lower highs. But since we've got a technical double bottom, that level, I want to see if for the reversal. It's the lowest point is moving sideways. Leave that just like that. This one. As we took out that high. Six. Fit. Let me wrap this down to the 15. Right, so there we go. And levels. We'll see if it wants to hold. All right. See if it wants to correct right down to somewhere in the zone and then move up like that. Interested to see if that can start a good run to the upside. Okay. Yens have been really back and forth. And of course, the dollar has been. So we'll continue to watch to see if it play out. Come on, twist on the one. All right, I'll look it up. Gonna come back to where you entered. Maybe. That's what? Uh-oh. What happened to my charts? There we go. All right. Okay. Kumo twist on the one. Yes. Drops the sevens for Jeremy in the chat. Nice. All right. So we're moving sideways a bit, as you can see, how your cloud is flat. But we got green cloud up ahead, and we did break above this high. We broke trend line on the one, right? So, and you do have a Kumo twist there. You got a Kumo twist. You got a TK crossover going on, right? So you see it all going on. Yes. So let's see if we can continue to make a run. Stochastic is in the sell zone, so we may be due for a pullback. Let's see how it holds up. I haven't really messed around with this pair, but when I see a technical double bottom higher time frame, stochastic is in the buy zone higher time frame. We'll see, right? Taking out some highs on the lower time frames. We may see prices. Let's see if the market is seeing what we're seeing, right? Technical perspective. See what happens. See if that dollar wants to make a run. You say gold dripping. Speaking of that, let's move up. Let's take a look at commodities. All right. Look at oil. It didn't hold. Right. That was that 1 hour play. It didn't continue to get bullish. Right. We dropped down to that 68 level. Just broke the 4 hour lag to break on gold. All right, we'll take a look at it. We'll take a look at gold. Let me that's the one. Let's go back to our daily on oil just can't maintain this momentum. All right. The demand outlook is going to be key.
When is the next OPEC meeting?
Hold on, let me see.
Because I believe that's what the holdup is.
Here's a resurface US President Trump. See, I've been out of it. This is the one commodity that I haven't played because of like so much of the back and forth with Trump and this whole mess, man, with tariffs. Let me see. It was reversing nice granted by Biden that allows Chevron to operate in Venezuela, which could tighten the supply. So this is weird. So we've got granted by Biden that allows Chevron to operate in Venezuela, which could tighten global oil supply. Chevron exports about 240,000 barrels a day. Dang. He don't care about nothing. Right? Chevron, I would be pissed off. Chevron exports about 240,000 barrels per day from Venezuela, and halting his operations will reduce the country's oil output. So, okay, so you got a supply issue. The question is, where's the demand? Additionally, EIA data showed a surprise build. The inventories, see, just said that, right? You got to worry about demand. You got to build up and demand. With gasoline and distillate stocks increasing while crude oil stockpiles fell unexpectedly. Oh, crude stockpiles fell. So this is mixed, man. Trump also stated the administration will rapidly fill the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, criticizing Biden's use of the lower gas prices. Meanwhile, attention remains on Trump's peace talks with Russia, Ukrainian president. So we'll have to find out when that OPEC meeting is. But this right here is a mess. This is so back and forth. He ran on lowering prices, but then he criticized Biden for using the reserve to lower gas prices. So what a mess. I don't know. We'll have to look at that, Joy. That might give us some better clarity. Figuring out when the next meeting is and what the expectations are going to be.
And the
Right.
holdup on Ukraine mineral rights. I forgot about that one.
Oh man, you talking about the fleece job that he ran on my man over there.
Yeah.
The shakedown, the mob boss move that he did.
He told him, well,
Yeah.
your city can't, your city is unrepairable. So what about the minimal rights? And we can see what Russia can do. So then that way they can salvage what they have, the rest of what they have left.
Man, that's like you ever see like the old mob movies where they send the goons in, like the small business owner, they send the goons in, they break the
Yep.
windows,
Yep.
and then they come back to them like, I see you got some problems with people breaking your windows. Like for 50% of your business will protect you. You won't have any problems. Like, it's unreal. It's unbelievable. Uh, what's going on? It's unbelievable what's going on. I tell you this, it's not sustainable. Nobody likes to be bullied. Yeah, that's true for me. That's exactly what it is. So, uh, yeah, what a mess. What a mess. So, yeah, here we are on this 1 hour on gold, right? We got a deeper correction. Gold is still a buy for me. So, yeah, let me pull this out. It's still a buy, right? We're moving back down to that 28.75 level. Do we recover from there? It's bounced twice off that level. And that's 61.8 level. Let's move up to the higher time frame though on it. So I'm still with all the global uncertainty and things like that, back and forth with the tariffs. A correction is cool. I'm looking to just potentially buy dips on that on gold. So here we are starting to correct. This was the sub fit running off of that, but let me look, right? So, stochastic headed back down to the buy zone. So right now, to me, this just looks like a healthy correction. All right, it looks like a healthy correction there. That's going on. Support is way down there. I don't definitely see gold dropping back to 27.30. But we'll see. And then we had to, you got a lot going on. Like you see the House passed their first version of this major bill, that's pretty much guaranteeing $4 trillion in tax cuts for the wealthy. So you'll definitely see that it's still got a long way to go. It's probably gonna get watered down a bit. Maybe not though. It might not because he's got control of pretty much all branches. We'll see how the market reacts to that, right? So there's a lot. There's a lot of mess. You're talking about major cuts to find more room for breaks, for tax breaks. Uh, we'll see. We'll see. You're not going with those type of cuts. You're not going to recoup the revenue loss from a major tax break like that through tariffs. It's not going to happen. Tariff situations are too volatile to depend on them as a consistent source of revenue for the government because countries are going to retaliate. So, like you said, it worked before. That was like back in 18 something. When I can't remember. Like the world is so much different now, right? Business is different. So that doesn't mean it's going to work again. So we'll see. But here we are on gold, right? Looking for a nice healthy pullback. We'll see if this let me pull this out here because that was that bot level from the 1 hour. We'll see if we hold up around this zone, but I'm still a bull on gold to 3,000 and beyond. I marked at 3,000 because it's a nice round number, but the extension is a little over 3,000. So let me I didn't look at it from the 4. Yeah, I know. I know. We gonna see, man. We're selling, you know, U.S. residency now. You can get a gold card for 5 million, right? So we're selling those like sneakers, vintage sneakers. You can get a residency here in the United States. So we're just hustling, man. He sold everything from Trump baseball cards to sneakers to Bibles to residency. So we'll see what happens with that. Uh, this is a 4-hour move here. Take these 4-hour supports. So I don't know if we see. I don't know fundamentally what would change this drive. I know that's in the 80-20 zone right now, everybody. On the 4, but I don't know. I don't see a major correction to go. Something I don't know. My mind can't fathom right now anything that causes that huge correction like that on gold. But I don't know. I've seen crazy things happen.
Hey,
Right?
Benny,
Yes.
if you go to the weekly, this is my if then statements. If price
Okay.
drop below 286.93, I would look forward to go to like 225.94. Just just looking at the weekly
Okay.
for a move back
Okay.
up.
But move back up. Correction and to move back up. Yeah. Yeah. Anything can happen. I've seen a lot.
Because that's a pullback to the top of that cloud on the daily.
On the daily.
Yeah, to
Okay.
the 50. Yep, it's the 50 just above the cloud. If
Hey, the reason why I see the reason why there's no guarantees, man, because it's just a lot that's going on, right? Like I said, you got major House bill that passed the first round. You got Trump and these tariffs. You got that Ukraine situation. You got China running live military exercises off the coast of Australia. You got so much you got stuff that's going on with Ukraine and Russia. uh he playing hardball, taking Canada off of certain international like committees. you know uh Now you had them you know trying to put their hand in German elections. You've got you know him putting his hand in South Africa. It's just a mess, you know. Um, and then you've got fire and fair, yeah, which that the firing all the federal officials and stuff like that. That's just Project 2025. That's just Pillar 2 of Project 2025. That's just flat out. Can't deny it. That is in the playbook. That's in the playbook. So, and they're gonna a lot of them keep saying, I hope I get my job back. That's not the plan. The plan is to replace them with Trump loyalists. They said it on video, and it's written on paper. So they had a database of people already to fill those jobs. So that's not just me and my opinion. That's just what they put in the plan. If people will read, right? So, uh, we'll see what happens with those federal workers. People keep saying everything he's doing is illegal, but he just keeps ignoring the judges. And I know they got a bunch of lawsuits filed, but we'll see. We'll see what happens or what comes out of it. He's been pretty much able to just walk through and do whatever he's wanted to do so far. I mean, he got back in the White House for Christ's sakes with 34 counts. So I mean, we'll we'll see if democracy holds. Right now it's looking a little shady. But with that being said, stock up or stock down. So that's that on on gold. Silver, right? We're in another good spot, right? So we got the last run to occur. We drew the mark up, coming back down to 31.75. We're pretty much spot on. It's holding at the 200. We're moving sideways. That's what we like to see. We like to see that, right? That means that there's some thinking going on. The market's seeing what we're seeing, right? Is it time to get back long on silver? Right? I like it. I like it. See if we can continue the waves. We ride the waves until they fail. Right. So 1, 2, 3, we're on our fourth wave now. Let's see if we can continue to get long. All right. Instead of snatching people's returns. Yeah, yeah. Oh man. I don't know. People, I've seen some people post like, oh, get rid of the IRS. I'm like, if you still think you're still gonna pay taxes, and if they get rid of like the idea is being floated with, oh, I would love to see them get rid of the income tax. It's gonna get recouped somewhere, like in state sales tax. Like it's you have to. It's not gonna. I don't know what people are thinking. Somehow, some way, you're gonna pay, right? Well, yeah. Even if I mean, you're talking about Elon Musk, right, and his crew. Like they're saying it's inefficient. So it could very easily lead to a way to more efficiently collect your money, your tax dollar. Like I don't know what people are thinking. Like I don't know. He might get rid of everybody, and everything is ran through AI software. They definitely gonna be on your behind then. So I don't know. I don't know what people are. I don't know. And then he might just be robbing us blind anyway. Who knows what they're doing? So we'll see how it comes out. I just moved the wrong thing. Here's natural gas. Uh, here's your natural gas play. That's the daily. We're correcting. Natural gas is still a buy, right? So if we get back down into that buy zone here on the daily, you look to pick it up, right? You look to pick it up. So we'll see. But I say all that to say, with everything that's going on, it's fun to talk about, right? Doge, the president, Project 2025, tariffs, war. And at the end of the day, the market still moves in waves, right? And that's what we focus on. Jeremy, I've been saying that since the first time they drew up impeachment papers with him being involved with Russia. From the first time they drew those impeachment papers up, I was thinking the same thing that you're saying right now. He is compromised. I truly believe it. He is compromised. So that's right. Um, you know, that's what I think. That's what I've always thought about him. Which I think it creates a dangerous situation. I think is why he's always so passive. Um, when it comes to Putin, you know. And then I also think there's also just a pure greed motive there, a pure greed motive and a high level of selfishness, which none of it is good. No matter how you look at it, none of it is good. So we'll see how it goes. You see, I don't know why he's always in the Oval Office, because he's running the show.
Benny,
Yes.
let me just say this. Anytime that you got to send your correspondence to demand the public to call it the Gulf of America.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you putting people in harm's way by changing the gender on their passport with some of the countries that they're going to. It doesn't just add up. It sounds like a 2-year-old that's not getting his way, and he's going to throw a tantrum, and he's going to make everybody pay.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see. I don't know. I know the the rest of the world is starting to form together like Voltron. So we gotta watch out. I think we're overplaying our hand, but we'll see. But Jeremy, I don't know why he's always in the Oval Office. He had his first cabinet meeting yesterday, and I'm thinking Elon was at least gonna come in there in the first cabinet meeting in a suit or something, but instead he's still dressed like John Wick, standing in front of the cabinet members lying. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. It is an unprecedented situation. So you all across the pond, pray for us. We need it. We need it. So yep. That's that. That's all I have, right? So this is a nice for this natural gas. I like that. I like that move back down. It's a monthly level right here that is looking to come into right in between that 50 and 61.8 range. We'll see what happens with it. All right. So Jeremy, you all accepting your residence? What you got? We'll see. I don't think I know it's a whole shock and awe approach that they're doing right now, but I don't think it's I don't think it's sustainable over a long haul. So Jeremy said we selling. But that's it. That's all I have for the setups today. We'll be back here tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's see what happens, right? We've got GDP, that preliminary GDP coming out at 8:30. I gotta get caught up now because at 7:30, the monetary policy meeting accounts came out for the ECB. I completely missed that there's another one, Barkin, speaking early at 8 o'clock. So I was looking at the second half of the day, but there's one speaking right out the gate at 8 o'clock at FOMC members. So, and then we got unemployment claims here for the United States. So that should be quite interesting considering everything that's going on. So that's it, everybody. I appreciate you all being here with me this morning. Awesome conversation. Lots and lots and lots are happening. Just remember, right? None of us are in isolation. We're all globally connected now, whether we like it or not. So what impacts one of us impacts us all. Have a good day, everybody.
Thank you.